Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the 4Ps podcast. If you guys remember, back in April of 2025, I announced that I was going to do a CrossFit competition with my friend Joe Jackson and some others in Sydney, Australia. And I maybe mentioned, I don't remember if I did or not, but this will be the first time me ever doing CrossFit as a competition. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm doing other competitions before that, but I announced this big thing. It's called Turf Games. I announced me being a part of this competition before ever doing one CrossFit exercise. Now, I work out all the time. I've worked out all the time. I bench press. I do weights and stuff like that. I play hockey. I ride my bike. I play both ice and roller hockey. And it's debatable if I play it well or not. But I do all these different things to stay in shape. I am 54 years old. When I do the Turf Games, I'll be 55. I'm actually going to be doing a race here in the Asheville area back in August 3rd. It's called the Spartan Race. It is not really CrossFit like that per se, but it does give you, it takes your body to the ultimate limit. And that's what CrossFit is. CrossFit is literally a punishment. And I mean that when I say that. CrossFit is a blend between cardio, weightlifting. You just do all these different things at all these different times. And when you, like people who weightlift, and that's what I usually do, or usually did, is you do your weights, you stop, you take a break, you literally put on some music, you think about it, and you get ready to do your next set of weights. No joke. There's like a break in between. In CrossFit, it is almost frowned upon for you to stop. It's keep on moving, keep on moving, keep on moving. And so like a CrossFit exercise, and they always have these weird names, like Shaggy or some crap like that. And the weirder the name, the more screwed up. And I want to say another word, I do, the more screwed up the exercise is, okay? So like, for the Shaggy, you do, and I may be wrong because I don't even know what these things are, but I will tell you this: what they do is like you may go and they may like make you do bench press on dumbbells, and you're doing 50 pounds for men and 35 pounds for women, and you do five of those. And you know what? That's not the problem. I can do 5 50-pound dumbbell presses. That's not the problem. But when the problem comes is after you put those down, you do this thing called the GDH. And this is what we did just a little while ago. And this GDH, literally it's a machine. It is someone said, let's make a sit-up more painful than it could ever be. And I really do think the person who invented Iron Maiden, not the rock group, but the machine that they used to use in medieval torture times, I really do believe that the person who invented the Iron Maiden invented this GDH. When you are done doing these, and like I said, it's a sit-up. You go into this thing and your body goes all the way down and then it comes all the way up. It's horrible. But when you do this machine, your muscles, your stomach does not hurt for like a week. And then a week later, it's like, hey, remember last week you did those GDHs? Well, here it is. It's going to hurt. And it hurts for days. And like the first couple times you do it, I do 15 at a time and come back. And then after that, you do jump rope, which I absolutely suck at. I really do suck at jump rope. I just have to get better. It's funny that my trainer even laughs at me because I'm horrible at that. And whatever. I can do everything else but that. And whatever. But we will get better with that. But anyway, and I could talk about CrossFit forever, so let me shut up for 1 second and talk about our guest. The reason why our guest is on is I was introduced to it's a beautiful, I don't want to call it a supplement because it really isn't, but it is something called rocket fuel. And no, it's not, it's not loaded with caffeine. As a matter of fact, it doesn't have any caffeine in it. What it is it opens up your pores. Okay, and it's great. I live in North Carolina, and you take that and I feel great all day long. It's called Rocket Fuel. Take a couple drops of it, and we're going to talk about it here in a little bit when our guest comes on. And it really keeps you. It does. It opens your pores. I run better. I have the energy to finish a complete workout and all that other good stuff. And it's just awesome. So I do love doing that. Now, with that being said, not only are we going to talk about rocket fuel as the supplement itself, we're also going to talk about how the founder of rocket fuel utilized, everybody got like totally jacked up after not well, they got jacked up after that too, but after during COVID, businesses shut down and stuff like that. And I want you to hear his story about his innovation and what he did to make sure that he built his business into a phenomenal business down in New Zealand. When we come back, now I'm going to tell you who this person is. Steve Cleary. We'll be talking about not only rocket fuel, but he's also going to be talking about the support he has from somebody very special. And everybody needs somebody like this in their life. We'll be right back with Steve Cleary right after this.
Your story matters. Your voice deserves to be heard. At DNP, we bring your dream, purpose, and passion to life in print. Whether your manuscript is ready to go or just an idea waiting to unfold, we're here to guide you. With expert editing, stunning graphics, and the knowledge to make your book a reality, we'll help you share it with the world. From book festivals to signings, this is your moment. Let's turn your dream, purpose, and passion into print. Connect with us today and make your dream a reality.
Welcome back to the 4Ps Podcast. Today I have a special guest. I know you've seen me on social media. I know you've seen even the advertisement here on this podcast for rocket fuel. This is the stuff right here. It is great, and especially for old guys like me who really want to get back in shape. I'm going to tell you, it is great. Not only is it good for working out, and I'm going to introduce our guest in 2 seconds. I live in the mountains of North Carolina, and it's nothing but absolute pollen all over the place. And this stuff right here really helps me in taking care of clearing out my lungs and everything else like that. It is great stuff. And here we have the inventor of rocket fuel, Steve Cleary, all the way from New Zealand. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Trunnis, awesome to be here, my man. We really appreciate the opportunity. And kia ora from New Zealand.
Fantastic. How's the weather there right now?
Buddy, we're in winter, and yesterday we were in the tail end of a tropical cyclone, which is really unusual for this time of year. We were absolutely getting pounded. Excuse me if I drop the odd F-bomb, but it was fucking terrible, man. We got rain, wind, she was all...
It had been bad. I watched the news in New Zealand, I watched the news in Australia, and I saw that, that whole area was just getting bombarded with just the nastiest weather that anybody can imagine. So that is just unbelievable. Steve, you can say whatever you like to say, but I have been using rocket fuel, and I'm not turning this into a commercial as much as I'm turning this into what inspired you to do this. This is really good stuff. It really is. As you know, a mutual friend of ours, Joe Jackson, got me to start doing CrossFit. Even though, obviously, my brother, and he works out all the time. I work out all the time, but I usually just weightlifted. I never did the cardio and all this other stuff. And now, when she told me about this stuff, I kid you not, it's just great. And a matter of fact, the first couple times I took it, I couldn't even take the full dose, and it still did what it was supposed to do because it was so strong. My eyes were watering, everything, and it was just weird, but it worked out. What made you invent this formula?
I'll give you 3 guesses. See if you can even get close.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, I want to say you invented it for athletes. Okay? So that's where I want to say. I want to say you invented it for athletes. That's my first guess.
All right. Four-legged athletes. Four-legged athletes.
Four-legged athletes. So you invented this for horses.
100%.
Okay, so absolutely, it's all natural. So that's. So what? How do they take it? How do they take this stuff?
So super long story short, buddy, my background when I was a kid in the 20s, mid-20s, I was an Australasian sales manager for a huge aromatherapy company, so I knew the power of essential oils. I'm 59 now, so roll on a bunch of years. And I've always been in horses, was an equine chiropractor, and a very, very good one, if I don't mind saying so. People used to call me a bit of a horse whisperer. And very long story short, needed products for myself, needed products for our horses, and I started making products. And initially I took all the oils out to the horses, would hold it up, and if they touched them, I'd develop off it. They'd turn their head, I wouldn't use it. Pretty much in the head I knew exactly what they would want, and that they proved me right. So started off with a couple of little products just for myself. Friends wanted stuff. Roll on a few years, more friends were after it, had a couple more products, went into really small production, and our catch cry was tested on humans before horses.
Wow.
Everything we made was human grade quality. Tested everything on ourselves, myself, my daughter, she was like 6 years old at that point. Super sensitive skin, so if there was anything that was going to happen to her. And the three of us just started ticking away. Roll on a bunch of years. We had a little job. We didn't really have it was a small business. It was a sideline. We were just trying to do good for our four-legged buddies. And the equine flu came through, which would have been coming up 12 years ago, down in Australia and New Zealand. And everyone reached out and said Savvy. Everyone called it Savvy. Came the company name, Savvy Touch. Savvy means having the knowing and the knowledge. The touch initially was my hand, and that quickly became that involved the products as well. So the equine flu came in, everyone reached out, make something buddy, so whipped up what is now rocket fuel. We spent 2 weeks completely blowing our heads off, not knowing how the oils would interact. So the cool thing with all our products, all the ingredients super well known. There's nothing flash-hairy in rocket fuel by any means, but it's the synergy. Everything about our products is synergy. So one product is this one, and it keeps growing in its ability. And so that after 2 weeks, we had a very raw product, very raw. I was zooming around with a 20-litre bucket of honey, essential oils, hand mixing everything. So you've probably experienced maybe a max of 1 mil, which is a full dropper.
Right.
Horses straight off the bat were getting 10. 10 mils, bang, straight down the side of the mouth. And from the very first dose, they loved it, and their reaction, the little ears popped up, mouth rolled, they got all this big smelling sensation. And within 3 days, I was getting feedback, buddy, this stuff is incredible. Horses are throwing up the mucus, and that's what kills them through the flu. They can't cough, so they drown. So they started coughing, getting rid of all this phlegm. By the end of the week, I knew I had a winner. And I was using it daily myself, started using it through my training. I was like, shit, this stuff's wicked. PB started coming down on the salt bike, all sorts of stuff. And I was like, wow, this is great. Mm-hmm. Roll on. By the end of that winter, people were saying, dude, I've been using this, I've thrown my asthma inhalers away, never felt better, this stuff's great. And I thought, wow, this is, okay, let's have a little try, we'll put it into some smaller bottles. So we went into production, obviously for the horses, went into production, small bottles, just for people, not really thinking of going anywhere. We went to a big show, had 600 bottles, thinking that was going to be a couple of months worth, sold out in 3 days. And then roll on another bunch of years, we started turning all our products over to human, to the human market. A skin smoothie, incredible as a wound repair cream, and by default, the horse trainers would be applying it with their hands. And it got nicknamed our That Can't Be Right product. I'd apply it into the wound, and I'd come back the next day and I'd go, fuck, that can't be right. The healing would be so strong. And then they started saying, dude, my hands are incredible. I've had psoriasis 28 years of my life. It's gone.
Right.
And we're like, cool, it's amazing. Never really thinking we had the ability to break into the human market. And we slowly just swapped our labels over. The cooling gel, incredible for arthritis, for joint muscle pain, which was one of my first products that I made. Took off. Skin Smoothie took off. So we're a little 15-year overnight success. And for us, COVID was an absolute game changer. We were just starting to really grow in 2019. Had a little bit of UGC going out. Started getting there. Long story short, COVID came along. Boom, we took off. And prior to the bullshit lockdowns, I made some really good calls. Our manufacturer had called up. I called up and said, "Dude, I need product. We're running out. What's going on?" And they said, "Mate, we can make it for you. We can't bottle it for you. We've been under government instructions since October to make nothing except hand sanitizer." So from that point, we knew everything was just an absolute crock of shit.
Yeah.
And long story, on the Sunday, our New Zealand lockdowns were announced. On the Monday, there was trucks start driving up our drive. And Lindsay's like, "What have you done?" And he said, "I just saved our ass." And so 240 20-litre pails of rocket fuel went into our garage. 9,000 bottles went into our garage. All the labels went into our garage. And the Wednesday, we were deemed an essential service because it's a respiratory product. We were selling into rest homes.
Right.
Thursday, lockdowns came. We took off. And so my wife and I spent the entire lockdown hand mixing, hand bottling, hand labeling. In the evening, I began hard out on Facebook, and we absolutely loved it. We had a great time, and that turned us from a little job into a business. And so roll on 5 years, and here we are. I'm talking to you on the other side of the world, discussing our product.
Absolutely.
It's gone global, which is cool.
Steve, I hear people talk about COVID, and this is a worldwide cluster. The whole lockdown thing was a horrible thing. You are one of the very few people that took that, and I'll say it, and I mean, usually I don't get political on this, but I mean, took an unnecessary act of lockdowns, and you actually became successful and got better for it. A lot of people were absolutely destroyed behind that. And it's great because, and for my audience, because my audience, we always talk about persistence and things like that. One thing that you did was you really did think outside the box. You knew what was coming. You were a strategic thinker. You were a forward thinker, and you did, like you told your wife, you saved your ass. And now this product is great. I see it everywhere on social media. I now, obviously I have advertisements on this program as well, but your marketing mostly has been word of mouth in the gym, or what was it? How was this marketing done for all of your products?
Look, our initial grind, and when I talk grind, I'm talking 10 years of up and down the country doing expos every single weekend. I'd be in the stables. I'd be doing 100 horses every week, smashing myself stupid. Get home on a Friday, we'd load up our ute full of stock. We'd be driving at least 1,000 kilometers every weekend, sitting out in stalls, just selling. We didn't get close to going over. We fell off the cliff more than once, man. We're at the bottom of the hole, and we just stuck our fingers in, and we just hung on. We got through some shit times, and we kept going purely, and my wife said many times, "Babe, we've got to stop. The hole's too deep." And without question, goddamn universe would drop us a phone call, an email from one of our customers. "Oh my God, your skin smoothie saved my daughter's life. She developed adult eczema. She's now got her skin back. She's loving life. Thank you so much." Well, Lindsay would go, "Fuck." And we'd carry on. And you talk about determination. there is nothing lucky about what we've done, man. Like we've missed friends' birthdays, friends' weddings, we missed funerals, we sacrificed everything in the pure belief that we had a range of products. We went through some really shit times, like really shit times.
You did, but what's amazing, and this is something I've talked about on this program quite often, is about having the right teammates around. And clearly, you're talking about your wife, you talked about her a number of times already. You definitely have the right teammate when it comes to her. And that's beautiful.
We've been married 36 years now.
Fantastic.
Which is pretty much unheard of these days. Our daughter's coming up 27. She works in the company as well. She's an absolute firecracker. Everyone sees her, looks like mum, acts like dad with a bit of psycho. And it's it's a great fit. But we never take anything for granted, Trunnis. I still think we're in a garage.
Right.
And I think that's part of our success. We've done incredibly hard times. And when we're really growing, really taking off, I've seen friends do it. The company would take off, they'd go and spend, they'd be stupid. They'd hit a hard patch and boom, everything's gone, they had nothing. And we were the opposite. I was just a squirrel. Just kept everything hid away.
Are the horses still around?
We had to make a big decision 4 years ago. We rehomed our horses. And again, the universe said, dude, you've got 3 choices. Don't take these 2. You sacrificed over 20 years of your life for your buddies. They got you where you are. And now it's your time. And so we made a big decision 4 years ago, rehomed our horses. I stopped doing what I do in the chiropractic sense 2 years ago. And I've been pulling myself out of it for about 3 years. Because it's been a very special part of my life, and it's been a real gift to be able to do what I do. I'd be working on stallions, and I'd have my hands in their mouth, I'd be adjusting the jaw. And anyone that knows about stallions, they'll kill you in a heartbeat. They'll absolutely drop you. And I used to work behind them, work on them, stretching the tail, adjusting the back through the tail, doing some crazy stuff in their kill zone the entire time. And people would just look at me and go, dude, you're just a freak. And I never thought it was anything special. It's just I did what I was given to do, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's just what I did. And I like your brother, he just turned into this freak. Realized that he had a mindset that could run 300 miles. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from. I really don't, man. We do some freaky shit, but I don't know. That 300 mile stuff, that is not something that we do, man. We're not gonna, going to, again, there are a lot of people listening to this podcast today, and there are people that are aspiring entrepreneurs. They're trying to start something different. It may not be a business. It may be something totally different. But a lot of people who are listening to this may have a little bit of trepidation when it comes to taking that first step. Last question for you. What would you tell my audience about taking that first step, just like you did?
If you have trepidation, then don't do it. You have to have 100% belief. And you have to have in your mind, like, I see so many people fail because I'm going to make $1 million this year. Bullshit, you are. You're starting a new business, man. You're going to get kicked in the teeth. You're going to get run over. You're going to have some incredible success, and things are going to look great. Don't take the foot off the accelerator. But for the first thing, you have to have the mindset, I'm going to succeed. It doesn't matter what comes my way. If you're standing in a cyclone getting smashed to the ground, you've got to be able to pick yourself back up. Anyone can fall over. Anyone can fail. Everyone actually fails. It's the only way you learn. It's the only way you learn. If all you have is success, one, it never happens, but you're never going to learn. So you have to learn by your failures. I couldn't tell you how many times I screwed up. Jesus, crystal balls, man. I can look back and go, what? What seemed like an incredible idea was just pissing in the wind. So have belief in yourself. have belief in what you're going to do. Is it going to be different? If not, what's going to set you aside? How are you going to compete in today's market? What are you going to do if you don't suddenly start selling? Do you have a backup? Are you prepared to have sleepless nights? Because, man, as an entrepreneur, you can forget about sleep.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you can. You can absolutely forget about sleep. And, it almost gives us to a little one plug for this stuff right here, because it does help you in a lot of ways. It is a great product. What you just said to the audience is you got to keep moving forward, and you're going to have to realize that you're going to get beat up. There's going to be some times when you're going to get beat up, and that's just the way it is. That's where success comes from, is being able to take those hits. Thank you so much for being a part of this program, Steve. This is not the last time we'll see your face. Matter of fact, we're going to see your face every single time, because matter of fact, right after we get finished talking, your commercial comes up, I know. We'll be back right after this. Thank you so much.
See you, mate. She's doing yourself. Hey crew, I'm just down at Phillip Island checking out some of the GP bikes and going through some teams. Come across this young fella. Showing him the rocket fuel. What does he do?
Always went out of my bag.
Jesus.
I love it. It's good stuff.
How long have you been using it, brother?
Oh, a couple of years now. 2 years I've been using it.
I just heard the story of his first time use. You've got to listen.
So the first time I used it, I was in a bit of a rush trying to get to the gym. Quickly go to the bottom, I just seen 4. So I just grabbed 4 of the full droppers I took. Instead of 4 drops, 4 full droppers. And my head nearly exploded. I thought I was going to die, but then when it came good, put $1 million. I just need the body to equalise for about 5 minutes.
Here we are, fucking in with the team. What comes out of his bag?
Well, let me try it. I'm like, what's up? Yeah,
That's it, mate. Is it hot? Tastes alright. Careful, there's little bits. It's good for it. Feel better now.
yeah, really.
You love it.
Good, yeah, love it. I really do love it. It's a good product.
Let's go.
Welcome back to this final segment of the 4Ps podcast. Steve is he is a entrepreneur for sure. He absolutely is. He's a great entrepreneur. He's a really nice guy. I love talking to him whenever I get to have a chance to talk to him. One thing I love about being a part of the 4Ps is the fact that the reach that I have and the people that I've met around the world who are literally living the 4Ps. This movement is getting bigger and bigger by the day. I mean, it literally started in a basement in I was going to say Anniston, Alabama. That's where my dad's from. No, it literally started in a basement in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's growing. It really is. There are great people throughout the world. I can start naming them right now, but I mean that would be a whole new podcast episode within itself. It would take me so long to do it, and I appreciate all the support. And not only do I appreciate all the support, I want you to I want you to subscribe to this program. Right back behind me over this shoulder is the 4Ps book, the new 4Ps. It's the expanded edition. It is a great edition. What I would like to do is I would love to give maybe 2 of those books out to some certain people. What I would love for you to do is please send me, and you can send it to this. You can send it to this email. It is Trunnis at TrunnisGoggins2.com. Send an email to me about something that you had to do in order to recommit to your purpose. Something that you had to do. I always talk about my story that, one day, I wanted to help people in many ways as possible. And I'm sitting as an administrator at a college. And even though, yes, I was helping people in a way, but I wasn't there. I wasn't with people. and I had to recommit to my purpose and what I truly wanted to do. And I talk about that, and then, there's a couple other things that I talk about when it comes to family and this, that, and the other, when it comes to recommitting to your purpose. So what I want you to do, and I want you to not type it, because I don't like to read. I'm joking. But I do want you to send it in a video form. So send me a video. And I'm going to have some people look. I have a couple people, as a matter of fact, and you're like, who are those people? Well, one of them obviously is like living in this house. So there you go. But we're going to have people look over the video, and the winner, we're going to have 2 winners. Not only are they going to be getting a free book signed by me, not like that really matters, but it's actually pretty cool, I think. But also, you will be a guest on the 4 Ps podcast, because I want your story to be known. I want people to know that through anything, through persistence, through anything like that, they need to go ahead and achieve that purpose. And when they have to reset, you know what? You're going to help them. You're going to help them in getting reset, and you're going to teach them the way. I will be back next week. Next week we have a guest from New York City, and this guest from New York City deals with some really important people. And I want you to hear about what he does. His name is Albert. And we will be back next week with Albert. Talk to you later. Again, like and subscribe. And also send those videos my way. I want a video so I can look at the video. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell you. That video will be, before we even interview you, your video will be on the 4 Ps podcast, seen throughout the world. Your video will be seen throughout on the podcast throughout the world. We'll download it, so make sure it's as clear as it can be, and so we can get that in there and get it uploaded. Talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.